You also have a new show coming out on Nicktoons, don't you?
I do! How'd you know? You've done your due diligence, Colin, haven't you? You've grown this year. Alright, I actually just got a couple little posty-cardy things. Here's one for you. It's, it's yours.
Oh,
Here you go.
sorry.
It's called Kappa Mikey. And, here's one for your cameraman. It, played by Coughing Dad. Are you okay, Dad? He nods in approval. Alright, so, it's called Kappa Mikey. It's about the most successful anime ever in Japan, but as the ratings are starting to tank, they figure out they have to inject something new to revive it. So they end up having a scratch and win. Well, there's a whole like card joke, because like Yu-Gi-Oh! And all these games with the cards. So they have a card competition, like a scratch and win, and this American guy wins it. So this American becomes the lead of the biggest anime ever, and as soon as he flies to Japan, he's the biggest star there ever was. And the funny thing is, everything like is drawn in sort of a, in an anime manga style, but the American guy is drawn in a pop graphic thick line style. So visually, immediately, like you can tell he's a fish out of water, or a raw fish out of water, as creator Larry Short says. He was a very nice man, and had been working on this hard for a long time. So he becomes the lead in the show, and every episode starts and ends, it's bookended, as we say in the business, with episode stuff, like action, craziness. Voice of Goku, Sean Schemmel, plays Gonard, who's the big mean guy who's drawn very Dragon Ball Z-y, and he's always got some diabolical plan, and we try to foil it. But Mikey's kind of silly, and not too bright, and screw something up, and then they have to call cut, and then the rest of the episode is like what's going on offset and their interaction as buddies and how he doesn't belong in Japan, and it makes as much fun of Japan and Japanese culture and stuff as it does the stupid American who's screwing everything up. So actually I've heard in Japan they love the show because they're like, yeah, you can make fun of us, but in the end the American's the dumb guy. So and then in the end they get the scene right, so the end of every episode is like the action sequence, dun, 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 dun. Everyone's voice is different. Gonard goes from being the big mean guy to being the goofiest like dumb friend ever who's addicted to food in a crazy way. Everything's about sandwich and picking his nose. Lily, who's the heroic lead, sweet girl, ends up being a real like prissy meanie, and then Mitsuki, the action babe, is like she's sort of hippie-y and kind of has a crush on Mikey, and the little purple guy is the director of the show. Yeah, and then Mikey's heroic on the show, but a doofus, Offset, played by me. And strangely enough, all the characters are starting to reflect, the actors are reflecting their characters in a strange way. Every time someone brings out food, Sean goes nuts. I'm just dashing and heroic. But like all the other people are, well, except Mitsuki doesn't really have a crush on me, but that's my problem, not yours. Anyway, what else you got for me?
Can you tell me about your recording studios?
Sure. Yeah, I own NYAB Post in New York, and we just opened our third suite in Manhattan. So I've got Studio A, where I did Berserk and stuff, and then which is an anime. Studio B, where we've done most of Kappa Mikey, and Studio C, which is the big, more lavish room. Venture Brothers is recording there, and it's all super bad to the bone. Pro Tools HD, Genelec monitors, custom fabric walls. It's a palace. It's a place of wonder and magic. And excitingly for me, I just opened a room in California. So now I have a studio on both coasts, because as far as I'm concerned, when your business is recording voices, the more voices you have, the better. And, so now I have the New York talent pool, which I think is aces, and then all the guys in LA who are wonderful, experienced, professional, cream of the crop. So I was able to do a show recently for Tezuka Production. They're like the Disney of Japan. They invented anime and manga. Astro Boy is theirs. And I just did a new series for them, Phoenix, Hinotori. And I was able to record it in both coasts because the cast is enormous. So I got all the best people in New York, all the best people in LA, and it's great. So that's what's going on with my studio. Thanks for asking.
No problem. You voiced some Ninja Turtle toys, but I've heard that you're doing the voice of another classic anime character for a new toy line.
Oh my gosh, you know everything. This just happened, there was a party for it last week. I just did the voice of Speed Racer for Art Asylum Toys. And Speed and Speed Junior. It's coming out later in 2006. And, there was a massive party at Avalon, which is a converted church in Manhattan. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. And, and I got to go and be Speed, knowing who I was, because it's just a voice. But it was tons of fun. It was in a big, beautiful studio, and the engineer was very nice and good, and he had 5 cinema displays in front of him. It was like he was recording us in the Mach 5. And there was a cameraman with the same camera they shot Star Wars with. Oh, yeah. So maybe there'll be some video floating around. But that was fun. I got to be another voice that I thought was awesome as a kid. That's kind of special.
Well, thanks.
Thank you, Colin. Anytime. See you at DC next year?
Think about it.
Don't you hold out on me, Colin.
Think about it.